That's $99 versus $1,099. And both are Macs. Both are thin, aluminum, and fanless. But one of them has a chip from an iPhone. And you know what? In one test, it outperformed every mobile x86 processor on the market. Today, we're not just going to compare numbers. We'll run both through 7 real-world scenarios and show where each one truly excels. We'll take both MacBooks and test them in student mode, video editing, multitasking, gaming on the go for home tasks, and for professional connections to monitors and peripherals. And at the end, a clear verdict with a table showing who each is for and without any BS. Lecture notes, presentations, a browser with 15 tabs open, Zoom running in the background. This is a typical student day. We open Safari with 15 tabs, Google Docs, Keynote, and FaceTime all at once. The Neo handles it. 8 GB is not much, but the A18 Pro manages memory so efficiently that in this mode, you will not even notice the difference. Geekbench, single core, and the Neo, 3,461 points. For context, that's faster than the M1 MacBook Air and even the M3 iPad Air in single core tests. And the Air M5? It just flies. 16 GB of memory, an N5 chip with 10 CPU cores. Here there's headroom for much more. Here's the key point. Neo costs $499 for students. That's half the price of the Air, and it does everything a student needs. One more thing, the Neo's keyboard doesn't have backlighting. If you often work in dark classrooms or in the library late at night, this can really be annoying. The Air comes with backlighting as standard. This is where it gets interesting. Let's take a 4K project in Final Cut Pro. On the Neo, yes, 4K editing works. A photographer and videographer tested the Neo in real work scenarios and confirmed editing 4K video is quite possible, even when other applications are open at the same time. But here's the catch. 8 GB of memory is the limit. Add a few layers of effects, color correction, and you'll hit the ceiling. Export will be slower. The Neo's GPU has only 5 cores compared to 10 in the M5. The Air M5 is on a different level, a 3rd generation GPU with ray tracing, 153 GB per second memory bandwidth, which is 28% more than the N4. Blender, DaVinci Resolve, After Effects, all of these run more freely with 16 GB. And then there's the display. Neo uses sRGB, while the Air has P3 wide color. If you work with color professionally, on the Neo you simply won't see part of your color gamut. Slack, email, Excel, a browser with 20 tabs, Zoom, a call, motion graphics, that's just a typical Tuesday. The Neo can handle it. One reviewer worked with a dozen apps at the same time and described the experience as fast and responsive. Not a single slowdown in a typical productivity mode. But if you're used to keeping hundreds of tabs open in Safari, that's a different story. 8 GB will start to run out here. macOS will unload background tabs and you'll notice it. The Air with 16 GB and the option to go up to 32 is true freedom. You don't have to worry about how many tabs are open. The M5 is 28% faster in multitasking compared to the M4, and you can feel it. The Neo is a chip from the iPhone 16 Pro. It's optimized for mobile games and Apple Arcade runs great on it. The metal test in Geekbench shows 31,286 points for the Neo and 33,148 for the BN1R. So, in terms of graphics, the Neo is almost at the level of the M1, but falls just a bit short. With the Air M5, things get more serious here. The GPU features 3rd generation ray tracing, offering a 50% improvement in games compared to the M4. AAA ports like Resident Evil Village and Death Stranding are its territory. Don't forget, the Neo only supports 4K at 60 Hz on external memory. The Air supports up to 6K at 60 Hz and can connect to 2 displays. For a gamer with a monitor, that's important. And the verdict, casual gaming, Neo, serious games, Air. Both are fanless, both are quiet, both are lightweight. The Neo is a bit more compact. It has the smallest form factor among all MacBooks, 29.75 centimeters wide compared to 30.41 on the Air. The difference isn't huge, but in a cramped airplane seat, it's noticeable. The battery lasts 16 hours on the Neo, 18 on the Air. In real-world tests, the Neo lasted almost 14 hours with a looping 4K video. The Air lasted a bit longer, 16 hours. The difference is about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Charging. Neo charges via USB-C. Air uses MagSafe plus USB-C and supports fast charging up to 70 watts. Another thing, Wi-Fi. Neo has Wi-Fi 6E, Air has Wi-Fi 7. In airports and hotels where lots of people are fighting for a signal, Wi-Fi 7 really gives you an advantage. Verdict. Neo is lighter, both in your pocket and on your budget. Air is for those who live on the road and need maximum battery life. Replying to emails, watching Netflix, video calling your parents, paying bills, uploading vacation photos. That's where the Neo shines. This is exactly the kind of user Apple created it for. $599. That's the price of a Mac Mini, the price of an iPhone 17e, and you get a full-fledged Mac with an aluminum body, a beautiful display, and 4 vibrant colors: blush, indigo, silver, and citrus, with a color-matched keyboard to the body. The speakers are surprisingly good for this price. Spatial audio with Dolby Atmos. For Netflix and YouTube, that's more than enough. Air. Here it's pure overkill. If you don't plan to edit videos or keep 200 tabs open, the Neo for $599 does all the same things. Verdict: Neo is the clear winner. You save $500 without sacrificing quality of life. And here is where the biggest gap between the Neo and the Air lies. Neo. 2 USB ports, but one of them is USB 2.0 with a speed of 480 megabits per second. That's the level of the year 2000. External display only through the left port, up to 4K at 60 Hz and no Thunderbolt. Air. 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, MagSafe charging is supported, support for up to 2 external displays. You can connect one up to 6K and the second up to 5K. For a desktop setup, this is a completely different level. If you want to connect an external SSD, monitors, and charging at the same time, the Neo physically can't do it. With the Air and MagSafe, both USB-C ports remain free. And the camera. The Air has a 12-megapixel center stage camera, while the Neo has an 1800 FaceTime HD camera without center stage. For work calls, there's no difference. And let's be honest, the MacBook Neo is not a stripped-down Mac. It's not a cheap computer with compromises at every turn. In the Cinebench 2024 test, its A18 Pro, consuming just 3.5 to 4 watts, outperformed every mobile x86 processor in the database, including Intel Core Ultra and AMD Ryzen. It's faster than the Apple M3 in single-core tasks. No used laptop for $600 can compete with the Neo on any metric. Neither in performance, nor in display quality, nor in sound, nor in build quality. But the Air is in a different league. It's for those who know they need more. More memory, more ports, a better camera, a P3 display, Thunderbolt 4, and Wi-Fi 7. The Neo offers 80% of the Air's capabilities for 55% of the price. And for most people, that 80% is more than enough. Conclusion. If you've watched up to this point and are still unsure, ask yourself one question. Do I really need more than 8 gigabytes and basic ports? If yes, go with the Air. If not, or if you're not sure, go with the Neo. The $500 you save can be spent on Apple Care, AirPods, or you can just keep it for yourself. Links to both MacBooks are in the description. Subscribe if you want more in-depth comparisons instead of boring spec lists.